Good morning, students. Let's begin our session. This is session 3 of chapter 2. So let us start. Let us recall all the points that we have discussed in the previous session second. We have discussed in the session second that nutrition in human, and during this nutrition in human we have done all the steps. Now all the steps what are the steps of the digestion? Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and addition. And in details we have described this also. We have also discussed about what are the mouth. Mouth is also called as the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity consists of what? Teeth and tongue. So we have also drawn the diagram of the human digestive system, teeth diagrams. What are the types of teeth we have discussed. We have also discussed about the tongue. What are the four taste buds are present on the tongue. Diagram of the tongue we have discussed this. Now in this session 3rd, we are going to discuss about the starch test. How can we taste that whether the starch is present or not? So for this we are going to have a starch test activity. So let us perform the activity. So for this activity we have to take 4 balls and we have to take boiled water rice. Means when you boiled water rice means what? When you are preparing राइस को अगर किसी पतीले में किसी बर्तन में अगर आप प्रिपेयर करते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रेशर कुकर, तो उसमें वाटर प्रेजेंट रहता है और उस वाटर को हमको लेना है फॉर दिस एक्टिविटी. सो वी हैव टू टेक द बॉइल्ड वाटर राइस. नाउ यू टेक 2 to 3 spoon of rice in all the 4 balls and name the balls A, B, C, D. The ball name will be A, B, C, D. Now after taking this we have to add saliva. Now in A ball we will not add saliva. In B we will add saliva. A teaspoon of saliva will be added to B, bowl B. Now in C we will add saliva, but after heating it. We will take a teaspoon of saliva, we will heat it, and after heating that saliva we will add into bowl C. And in D we will add saliva. A spoon of saliva, teaspoon of saliva will be added in the bowl D. Now after that, for the starch taste we have to use iodine, because if the color of the iodine changes, it means that it indicates the presence of starch. So we will add iodine to bowl A, but in bowl A only simply water is there, boiled rice water, so it will not change the color. In B, what will happen? What we will observe? That in B also the color will not change. Why? Because we have added saliva, so it should change, but it will not change, because when we add saliva, so what is the work of saliva? Saliva used to breaks the starch into simpler sugar, so there will be the reaction will take place. And in C we have what we have done? We have heated the saliva and then added to the starch, so the color will change. We will see the color change. So in C the color will change, because when we heat the saliva loses its property, because now saliva will not break down the food into simpler form like the glucose or simple sugar. So in D we have added saliva, then there also no color will be changed. So we get that where the starch is present, in the in C. So color changes in C. Previously we have studied about the mouth and the buccal cavity. Food is taken into, in human the food is taken through the mouth and then it is passed to the buccal cavity, and then where buccal cavity contains teeth and tongue. Then the food is crushed with the help of teeth and swallowed with the help of tongue, and then saliva is present. There it mixes with the food and convert the food into simpler form. Then it is passed through the oesophagus or the food pipe. Oesophagus or the food pipe is a long narrow muscular tube that connects the buccal cavity to the stomach. Then the food has been chewed in the mouth, then it is passed downwards towards the food pipe or the oesophagus, and from here it will be passed to the stomach. Stomach is the widest part of the alimentary canal. Stomach is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is just like a thick muscular bag. Stomach receives food from the oesophagus and passes it into the small intestine. The inner linings of the stomach secrete gastric juices which have mucus, hydrochloric acid and enzymes. Mucus, what does the mucus used to do? Mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach. Hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria and provide acidic medium that is important for the digestion of the food. And enzymes in the stomach break down protein into simpler substance like the amino acid. Now next, then from the stomach the food is passed into the small intestine. Small intestine, as its name is there, small, but it is in reality it is not small. It is about 6 to 7 meter long. It helps in digestion, and digestion in the small intestine, digestion takes place with the help of 3 special type of secretion. First we will study the secretion from the liver. Liver is the largest gland in the human body. And what does the liver, where is liver located? Liver is located slightly below the stomach on the right side, and it secretes what? It secretes the bile juice, and it is stored in a bag like structure called gallbladder. And what is the bile juice used to do? It is important role is to digest fats. Now second secretion is from the pancreas. Pancreas is a yellow leaf like gland located in the below the stomach. It secretes pancreatic juice. This juice used to dissolve or breaks the food, especially the carbohydrate, proteins and fats, into the simpler forms. Third secretion is from the small intestine, from the intestinal walls of the intestine, that is the intestinal juice, and this juice helps in the helps in the digestion of carbohydrate, proteins and fats. Now what does the small intestine do? How these all secretions used in the small intestine? Use of bile, pancreatic juice and intestinal juice. During the process of digestion, during the process of digestion, carbohydrates are digested for the simple sugar like the glucose. Proteins are breaks down into the amino acids and broken down into amino acids, and the fats are broken down into fatty acid and glycerol. Now the next topic is absorption of digested food in the small intestine. How the food gets to be absorbed in the small intestine, because maximum absorption of food takes place where? Maximum absorption of food takes place in the small intestine. So how does this absorption takes place? You are seeing a diagram here. It is the diagram of a small intestine. It is a part of a small intestine, and in this diagram you are seeing here the small finger like projection is there, that is called as villus. That is called as villus. And what does this villus used to do? The main work of the villus is to do the absorption and increase the surface area. Now you are also seeing that the blood capillaries network is there. You are seeing that red or blue in color. These all are the blood capillaries, red and blue color. Blood vessels are there. What does the blood vessels will do? All the whatever the nutrients will be taken in this, absorbed in the small intestine, it will be passed to the blood vessels, and then it will move throughout the distribution will take place throughout the body. So let us study about the villi. The inner wall of the small intestine absorbs the digested food, and it has a large number of finger-like projection. That is finger-like projection, that is called as villi. The finger-like projection is called as villi. And villi used to increase the surface area for the absorption of digested food, and these absorbed food is passed to the blood vessels that is present in the villi. And then you are seeing here the blood vessels are there, and these blood vessels are used to absorb the food, nutritive absorb food, and then it gets to be transported to all part of the body. And this whole procedure that used to take place in the small intestine, that is called as assimilation, that previously we have studied, that is called assimilation. Now the next is the large intestine. From the small intestine the maximum absorption has taken place. Now after that, whatever the left material is there, unabsorbed, undigested material, then it is from the small intestine, it is passed into the large intestine. Large intestine, name is large intestine, but it is smaller than the small intestine. It is shorter than the small intestine, and it absorbs the undigested, unabsorbed food, enters in the large intestine, and maximum absorption in the large intestine, maximum absorption of water and some minerals used to takes place from the undigested food. From the undigested food, maximum absorption of water and some minerals takes place from the undigested food, and whatever the left material or the waste material that is of the food gets to be passed where? Gets to be passed into the rectum. We have studied rectum, so it gets to be passed into the rectum, and then it gets to be stored. Whatever the waste material or the fecus gets to be stored in the urinary bladder, and in the form of fecus it is eliminated through the anus. This process is called as egestion. Elimination of the waste product from our body, that is called as egestion. The process is called as egestion. Students, I am showing the parts of small intestine showing the villi. So you have to draw the diagram of the villi. You have to locate whatever the parts are located here. So please locate it. Now we are going to do activity third. And in this activity third, the few diagrams are given there. You have to write the functions according to that diagram. So in this activity third, what we have to do? In activity third, we have to eat chapati or sandwich. Okay, so you usually eat chapati or sandwich, and during this lockdown process many things you are eating. So let us take, I am going to take the example of simple one, that is chapati. If we all use chapati, so how the digestion process used to begin? So we have to write the steps of the digestion process. So we have to eat chapati, and then for what purpose we are eating the chapati? When we eat the chapati, it will go into our mouth, and then we will chew it properly. We will chew it with the help of teeth, and after that swallowing will take place. Swallowing of the food, it gets to be mixed with the saliva, and it gets to be broken down into simple form. And we are main motto of us to take food is what? When we used to take food, for what? For the energy. We used to take food for the energy. Whatever the nutrition we will get from the food, it will provide energy to our body and make our body to do the work. Or it also maintains the growth and development of the body and body cells. So I am showing you one diagram, one activity. The many diagrams are given here. In this activity you are seeing this diagrams are there. What we have to do, this is a flow chart. Flow chart is there. In this flow chart, there we have taken the food, that is chapati, and what does the role these used to play? You are seeing here mouth is there. So what the teeth is, when we eat chapati inside our mouth, so what does this diagram is there? You are seeing the diagram. So what is the function of this? What it performs? You have to write in 2 to 3 lines. Next, what will happen? Next, it will passes to the stomach. That is the muscular bag. That whatever we have studied in this video, in this session 4, all will be recapitulated through this activity third. So now this is the stomach. So when from the mouth food reaches to stomach with the help of food pipe, that is also called as oesophagus. So you have to write the function of the stomach. Next is, you are seeing here, this is small intestine. What is the diagram? The small intestine. Now when from the stomach it gets to be passed into small intestine, where the proper digestion used to take place. So now you will write 2 to 3 lines about its function. Now the last one is that to the large intestine. It will pass to the large intestine, and after large intestine, what happens in the large intestine? अब आपने चपाती खाया मुंह में, अब फिर आपने माउथ में उसको लिया, उसको च्यू किया. च्यू करने के बाद जितने प्रोसेस इन्वॉल्व हुए, you have to write all the process along with the functions. So in 2 to 3 sentences you will have to write. Now the last one is, that is the, what is this part called as? Rectum. This part is called as rectum. Rectum, what does the rectum used to do? And the last portion is called as anus. So from the starting you have seen mouth, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and then to the rectum. So you have to write this in your homework copy. You have to make the diagram, this flow chart, and you have to write the function of each according to their functions what we have studied in the session.